How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the Mando Bros channel. Today we're going to be breaking down episode 12, Rescue on Ryloth. So I really did enjoy this episode a lot. This was a really good episode. I think I've really been digging how the Bad Batch has been pretty much tying in the Clone Wars and Rebels, to their series really well. It's been awesome. I think even through filler episodes to episodes that aren't mainly about the Bad Batch, they really break it down really well, and it's been awesome. Rescue on Ryloth has been great. We get to see a little bit more of Hauser. For those of you who don't remember Hauser is pretty much the clone who, I guess his inhibitor chip isn't activating, or he isn't under Order 66, because you get to see him hesitate and really think about what's going on when most clones under Order 66 follow orders and commands instantly, and anybody against the Empire is labeled a traitor. So we're looking into his character a little bit more in this episode, because we get to see a little bit more, and it is absolutely amazing. And just seeing Hera's backstory from Rebels coming to life here in the Bad Batch is amazing. So we're going to be breaking all that down for you guys. Love this episode. We have 4 more episodes until the Bad Batch is over, I believe. So I can't wait to continue breaking these videos down. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into tonight's episode, guys. So we start off with a Rampart coming into the prisoner section with Hauser, pretty much going where Champ and Syndulla, Cham and Syndulla are pretty much put away because Rampart pretty much put the blame on them attempting to assassinate the senator of Ryloth, and is putting the blame on Cham, who is the people's favorite. The people adore Cham, and you get to see Rampart here pretty much rub it in his face, saying how it's unfortunate how your people will see you fall. You're so beloved, and now your people will be turned against you. And it's really interesting because also, as you can see, Hauser in the background just kind of like he's just like looking at him and just like in disbelief. He's like, this is not how things should go, and we get to see a little bit more of how his inhibitor chip isn't fully working properly, through Order 66, and I love seeing that. So pretty much Rampart is just mocking Cham and saying, how things are gonna be under the Empire's control now, and then you see Syndulla just pretty much say, I see how you treat your friends, so I'd rather be your enemy. Because Rampart's trying to secure the safety of Hera, because Hera escaped. And Syndulla is just a badass. She's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit, Rampart. I know who you truly are. I know the Empire's true intentions. And we will not cooperate in one way, shape, or form. And I love that. I love it. And then again, we get to see Hauser just looking at them. And then you get to see them just disappointed because they fought together during the Clone Wars. They were together fighting side by side, and seeing Hauser, kind of fall with the Empire is just a big betrayal. You get to see them say, "I thought you were one of us," and see Hauser just feels conflicted as he walks away. And this was just like, damn, I don't even know what's going on. So we see Rampart and Hauser kind of talking, and Hauser's trying to say, look, I can get Hera. Let me get the child, because Hera's still on the run. But Rampart says, nope. We have our own troop, another troop out there looking for her. So worry about just protecting the city, the capital. And you pretty much see Hauser's face, just like he doesn't like that. He knows that something's gonna go wrong. And again, we get to see Hauser just contemplating everything. And again, this is not a clone who's been under Order 66. Again, that whenever a clone is under the control of Order 66, with the inhibitor chip, they don't think. They don't have this kind of thoughts. They follow orders blindly. And seeing how Hauser may have not been in the reach of Order 66, he may have a defective chip. I don't know yet. There's still theories up in the air, because there's so much to talk about, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it in another video. I really want to talk about Hauser. And so, again, you can see Hauser's pretty much saying that he'll find her, but Rampart says, nope, I got another squad out there. And we see Hera with Chopper just chilling, trying to get intel, trying to figure out how are they going to find help, because she's pretty much alone with her father, her uncle, and her mom. imprisoned and the Empire pretty much having full control of Ryloth, she has no other way to do it, and she's trying to find a way for her to send out a beacon. And here we see Crosshair, our boy Crosshair, with this squad, pretty much trying to figure out where Hera went. And they know, Crosshair already knows, because Crosshair is a very intelligent person, and he's I love but hate Crosshair, but he knows that she is not gonna leave this planet until she gets her parents. So he knows what's gonna pretty much go down. And so we see Hera just trying to make contact with somebody, and we go over here with Omega and the Bad Batch, and and I love this scene right here because she's trying to fix this little droid, and Hunter tells Omega, this droid is defective, you can't fix him. And then Omega pretty much says, it's okay, we're all defective here. And I love that. I really love that. I hate the Bad Batch because they give us such an adorable moment. You know, well, they gave us such a dark moment. You know, we see Rampart, you know, everybody enslaved. You know, they're just like, yeah, we're going to find Hera. We're going to pretty much kill her. And we're going to take control of Ryloth. And then we turn to a different scene. And it's such a wholesome and sweet scene with Omega. As we continue again, we see that Hera sent out a message to Omega because Omega gave her their private comm link, their private communications channel, pretty much saying, please help, I have nobody, you know, I'm sending you the coordinates where I will be at, we need your help. And here we see Hunter pretty much tell Omega, saying that the galaxy is big, you know, this is not their fight, this is not their problem, but Omega insists that she needs help, we have to help her. Isn't that what soldiers do? They help people, and that kind of gets Hunter thinking, you know, like, damn, you know, like you got me there, kid. And so they head out to Ryloth one more again. They pull into this private hangar in this base. You see the boys come out, this Bad Batch, and we see. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna say this right now, and you'll see it in this episode as we continue. Chopper is by far my new favorite droid. Like, I love R2, I love BB-8, you know, but I think Chopper has by far been my new favorite droid, and you'll see why, because he's just as cunning as R2-D2, and I love that. I love that. And so here we see Omega pretty much bringing the Bad Batch over to Hera, talking about, you know, this was her father's old command post. And she needs the Bad Batch's help. They're being captured. Their parents are prisoners, and the Empire is taking control of Ryloth. And Hunter's like, what do you want us to do? Like, this is, you know, the Empire's presence is heavy here. And she's just like, I just want my parents. I just want you guys. I need your help. She's pretty much alone and had nobody else to ask. And Hunter is pretty much saying, let's see what we can do, but there's no guarantees that we'll be able to do anything to help you or your parents. So Hunter is still being cautious because, again, heavy Empire presence. The Empire wants Omega, and they want the Bad Batch dead, so they're just being cautious. Yeah, exactly. And so we see Rampart out here talking to the people. You know, he's giving out a speech saying how Cham pretty much attempted to kill the senator, and the senator is okay, which I believe the senator is officially dead. He's just saying that to kind of sway the people against Cham, and then we get the outside view, and then we get to see the Bad Batch looking into, and then you see Chopper kind of hearing the speech that that Rampart is given, and Syndulla saying that is not true. And then we see Omega tell Hunter Crosshair is here, and as they look in, they get to see Crosshair through the binoculars. They see our boy chilling right there, and they say, okay, we gotta go. There's nowhere for us to go in guns blazing. The Capitol sensors will locate us. And I like this scene right here where Echo is saying Ryloth is not a separatist planet. You know, but this is what the Empire is currently doing. The Empire is slowly going around, taking over different planets. And as we can see here, now a droid manages to scan him before Hunter is able to take him down. And I love Hunter. Hunter was able to sense this droid and take it down, a probe droid. He really sensed it pretty well. I love to see the skill that Hunter has, with his ability to sense things, better than anybody else. I mean, nobody else really heard this droid sneak up behind him, and Hunter was able to fairly quickly. But he wasn't able to take it down before that recording was sent back to the Empire. And as you can see, they show Crosshair that the Bad Batch is here. So, and you see Crosshair just looking out to where they were. And we get this position here where Hunter is looking at Hera, and they're like, there's too much heat. There's so much going on. I'm sorry, but there is nothing we can do. And say the Imperial comms are talking about the Bad Batch, that they are there. And he said the element of surprise is gone. And since Crosshair is here, Crosshair is very familiar with their tactics. So there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. And he said, I'm sorry, but there's no, it's not a risk worth us taking. But Hera's like, but it is for me because it's my parents. And Omega really dislikes that she did that to Hera. So because Hunter is just looking out for himself. So again, we see Rampart with Hauser just talking about we need to find all of Syndulla's people. But again, here's Hauser sympathizing, says, look, if we keep rounding up peaceful citizens, we're going to have an uprising. He says, I don't care. You will find these people. And we can see that Rampart is getting very frustrated with Hauser because he is not under the same control as Hunter is, Crosshair is with Order 66. And Crosshair comes up and says, look, Clone Troop 99 is here. Let me take care of them because you don't know what they're capable of. But Rampart's like, look, you need to do what I told you and find Hera Syndulla or else, and stay on task and let me worry about the Bad Batch. And so Crosshair is just agitated because he really wants to find, his brothers. I don't know if it's because he wants to kill them or because the chip is malfunctioning and something's going on. I don't know. I really hope that, Crosshair doesn't die. I hope that he overcomes his inhibitor chip. And so we see Hera sad, another sad moment again. She's just, feeling helpless, not being able to do nothing for her parents. And we see Omega. Omega really comes in clutch here. She tries to tell Hera that, we need to convince Hunter by giving him a strategic plan because he's all about strategy. And then we see Hauser coming back, talking to Cham, and pretty much saying, look, I don't want none of this. I didn't mean for this. He said, you attacked the convoy. What do you think would happen? But Cham says, I'm trying to help you here. But he says, you swore to protect Ryloth because they fought in the Clone Wars, like I mentioned. But he's like, but you betrayed us. This is the side that you chose, and I'm not going to make that same mistake again. And then we come over here. And I love Wrecker because Wrecker is funny because Wrecker just wants to blow shit up all the time. He says, I just want to blow shit up. Let's attack the Capitol. But they pretty much says Hera has this really good plan which says we'll attack the refinery to cause a diversion so that you guys can sneak into the Capitol and break out my parents while Omega and Hera and Chopper go to distract them at the refinery. And I love this scene because even Hunter was like, okay, Hera and Omega, you two alone can go and do this mission. And I was like, whoa, he's actually going to let Omega do a mission on her own? This sees the growth in Omega and the trust that Hunter has in Omega's ability to stay alive, you know. And I really like this part right here because we get to see Omega grow as a character, you know, actually go out and really become a member of the Bad Batch and not be vulnerable, not just be a child, not just be dead weight getting carried around. So I really like that scene. And so that's easy. Hunter is pretty much telling what's up. We get to see the refinery with Hera and Omega kind of trying to tell Chopper sneaks in, and this is the scene that I'm telling you guys that I love, and I think I'm just gonna play this scene out for you guys real quick because this is the most adorable shit that I've seen. So they're trying to get Chopper to sneak in. And man is destroyed fucking clever as hell. I love it so much. He's just sneaking in with the rest of the droids. He's got to shut down the gunners, the ships up top, the guns. He's out there to go and disable them. And so they send Chopper out alone to do this mission, bro. And this scene right here had me so dead when I was watching it. He literally walks up to this other droid. He's like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" Psst, and he shocks him. And he's out here trying to do it, but he says, "Oh, I can't shut down, the weapons. They can't disable the cannons. He can't do it." And then we see 2 clone troopers pull up, and they manage to catch him. And I love this scene right here. Look at this scene right here. He throws his little robot hands up in the air. He throws his little robot hands in the air. He says, "I give up. I give up." Oh my god. I really, really love that scene. And so now Omega and Hera want to do something to help Chopper, because without the cannons disabled, Echo and Wrecker can't come in to explode the refinery to, again, cause the diversion that they need. And then we see here, next scene is we get Hunter and Echo sneaking up into the castle, knocking out some clones, sneaking in. And then we see Omega and Hera pretty much say, "Look, you said you're a pilot, right? Then go ahead and we're going to hijack this ship and we're going to pilot it." And Hera's like, "I mean, I guess." And then we see Tech is like, "Omega, has Chopper disabled the cannons?" I said, "We're working on it. Just don't shoot down our shuttle." And then we see Hera, because in Rebels, Hera is a really skilled pilot. So seeing her as an amateur, just kind of like flying the ship around all crazy. And we'll play this around real quick. She's just like, "Oh shit! Oh crap!" It is hilarious. And here is another scene. Look at this right here. This is again why Chop is my favorite droid right now. He just fucking tases the troopers. He tases the troopers, and then he's like, "Eat," and he dips out again. I love Chop so much. So we see Hera and Omega blow up the cannons so that the cannon support, so they can't fire at Tech and Wrecker as they come up. And so we see some really amazing piloting skills from Tech. I didn't expect Tech to be such a skilled pilot, but he is such a very, very skilled pilot. Watch this. He speeds in high speeds. I love this. He speeds in, comes in hot, and then he brakes and he just takes a turn. And we see Wrecker just go ham and start blowing up the refinery. And I was like, "Oh Lord!" Like, this was so dope. I love that maneuvering from Tech. I didn't expect him to be such a skilled pilot. And so we see Hauser run in and saying, "Look, they're attacking the refinery," and Rampart pretty much tells Hauser to stay put. And as they're going through, the uncle recognizes the Bad Batch and he says, "Did you hire them?" It's like, "I didn't hire them, but they're mercenaries." And then this is when Hunter says, "You who hired you?" It's like, "Your daughter." And then we go back to the scene where we see Hera flying the ship with Hunter, with Tech and Wrecker as they go in. But before Tech and his crew can go into the ship, he tells them to stop. He says, "Why? We got to go defend the refinery." And this is where I say that Crosshair knows their plan. Then I think this can be a potential downfall for them in the future. Crosshair knows, what's gonna happen. He's like, that's not their target. The parents are their target. This is a distraction. They're trying to distract us. As everybody dips out, Crosshair already knows. He knows Hunter. He knows the Bad Batch. He knows their plays. He's one of them. So he knows what they're planning on doing. So as we see they get a bunch of clone troopers out here to set up, and then we see Hauser come up and pretty much say, "Look, I'm on your side. I was mistaken. The Empire is wrong, and you're walking into a trap." and so they use the senator's private shuttle hangar to escape, and then Hauser. This is where we can truly confirm that he is not under Order 66 one bit, because he chose his decision to stop what he's doing and fight with them for the greater good against the Empire. He's saying, I'm gonna try to get to my men because they're good men. So you guys escape. And so as Hunter looks back at him, seeing how he's not under Order 66. So I wonder what Hunter was thinking, or why they gave this scene where Hunter looks back and acts like, hey, I wonder what he was thinking, or if he was gonna tell him about the inhibitor chip, or what was going on. I have no idea. And so we get the scene where I say, you know what, let's rendezvous at our stations, dip out, and we see Hera and Echo, Hera and Tech dip out, and then we see Tech already has his sights lined up to the only exit, which they thought was the only exit, and he's got his clone troopers, and then boom, we see Hauser show up instead, and then Hauser drops his gun, and this moment here was beautiful. Again, because you get to see how he's not under the control of the inhibitor chip. Hauser says, we swore to protect Ryloth. The Empire is not protecting Ryloth. So he pretty much says, my brothers, who will stand with me against this? And then we do get to see a good bit of troopers, clone troopers, drop their weapons, and say, we're not going to do this. We are not going to do this one bit. And then so again, this is where I'm saying the difference from a clone trooper actually being under Order 66 and one that is not. As you can see, Crosshair pretty much said, arrest those traitors. As they're arresting a few of the clones that actually drop their weapons are with Hauser, and some of them are under Order 66. So my theory right here, real quick, guys, is that I believe that they might do what they did with Hunter, with Crosshair. I believe that, now that they surrendered, and they found, I guess, defective clones, I believe that Rampart might try to enhance the inhibitor chip in them like they did Crosshair. Because, I mean, they're captured unless they're able to escape somehow, or Cham comes back to rescue them. But I believe that if they are not rescued, I feel like Rampart might just enhance the inhibitor chip like they did with Crosshair, so that they can be fully under the control of Order 66. That's my theory right there for them. So we see them drop their weapons. Crosshair, the Bad Batch dip out in the shuttle, the private shuttle, and they bring the rest of the guys in. This scene right here, I was like, damn, like there are still some clones out there that aren't following Order 66, and that is insane. We get to see a little bit of Ryloth, and then we get to see their final conversation with Cham and them as they continue, pretty much saying that this is not our war. I have to look out for my people, but it's this war's coming, and so we might see ourselves soon. And I love this relationship between Hera and Omega. They pretty much says, and I love that at the end of the day, they're still children. They're still kids. I mean, they do things that no children should ever do, but they're still kids, and they're like, will I ever see you again? They say, we'll probably come across each other once or twice, and they hug, and then that's where that ends. But then we get Rampart talking with Crosshair saying, I have really underestimated your friends. And so Crosshair pretty much says, permission to hunt them. And then Rampart says, permission granted. And we get to see the scene here on Crosshair, and I think the next episode we're going to have a really heavy, battle with the Bad Batch, Crosshair and his brothers again. So that's the episode, guys. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a really great episode. It was awesome. Lots of action, again, lots of, I love Chop. Chop was my favorite in this episode. I think he was a highlight of the episode. But it was great. We get to see how there are some clones that aren't under Order 66. Holy shit! Like there's more out there, not just them. And I wonder if there was more of them that were defective like that. And I wonder if they were just killed, or if their inhibitor chips were enhanced in some way, shape, or form. But let me know your thoughts on this episode, guys. 4 more episodes before we have the end of the Bad Batch. 4 more episodes. We're going to be diving into them, talking about it, really diving into Star Wars The Bad Batch before the end. I wonder what era are they going to end off. And I wonder if we're ever going to see Boba in The Bad Batch. Because, I will for those of you who don't know, Omega is pretty much like Boba, the purest clone of Jango Fett. Boba Fett, as far as we knew, Boba Fett was the only purest form of Jango Fett, because he was a straight clone with no age enhancements, So we have Boba. Omega is the female one. That's what Boba was referred to as Alpha, and of course we have Omega. So that's two actual perfect genetic copies of Jango. So I wonder if we're ever gonna see Boba in The Bad Batch, and I just cannot wait to see more, guys. So thank you so much for watching, checking this out. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and may the Force be with you, because this is the way. Thank you, everybody.